Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday on Team Talks. Each episode we dive into the favourite book, habit or tool of our special guests. They share what inspires them and how it helped them grow personally and professionally. Get ready to hear shortcuts for decisions that define success.
So I'm just wondering, in terms of a non-fiction book, what non-fiction book have you read that you thought, that's great and I would recommend to our listeners?
So this is not a book that I read from first to last page, but this is something that I always keep with me. It's called the Design Thinking Toolbox.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's like a chunky book. And so the reason why I love it, because it has lots of techniques. So whenever you got to work on a project and maybe like running workshops or groups or more sophisticated research methods, and you want to use something new, engaging, interesting, not always using the same things, I always open the Design Thinking Toolbox. It always helps me ideate and come up with better exercises or tasks. So it's a very useful tool to have.
Great piece of advice. You've obviously learned a lot during the years. What kind of helps you in terms of one particular tool or habit that you wouldn't do without now that you thought, I always use this, I always turn to it? You mentioned the book a moment ago. What other things do you do or use?
It's a tool that nowadays everyone uses. It's Miro, actually.
Okay, yes.
Miro made the biggest impact on my analysis capabilities since I've been working as a researcher. It was a game changer. Starting to use Miro, creating download walls and writing up snippets of information on post-its, being able to amend and change things throughout the way. And it's just like such a different level of analysis that you can do with Miro compared to like the old ways using either Excel or printing out transcripts and highlighting stuff. And in this way, you can really decompose the text, rearrange and find those patterns that I think you wouldn't be able to find without doing that. I couldn't live with Miro anymore.
And I have to thank you for that, because you're the first person that introduced me to Miro, and I've started using that for my new business. It has proved to be really useful in terms of visualizing the customer journey and visualizing new products and services, and it has enabled us to pivot really quickly in terms of a new service that we're going to be offering in terms of automation, because we've got the board, we've got stuff there, we just move it around. So thank you for that. Given that you're so good at identifying these tools, what new habit or tool would you like to spend time learning in the future that you think going to pay off well?
So it's part of my objectives for this year. I want to have a junior researcher made by ChatGPT. I actually want to introduce Gen AI into my everyday life more, not just occasionally checking things, but I kind of want to rely more on, even if I've got obviously concerns with AI, but I think it can work amazingly well with having another researcher almost in the room by discussing your ideas, brainstorming with ChatGPT or asking little things. And I kind of want to pick up this habit to using it more regularly and yeah, because it's just, I think we need to admit that it's very useful.
No, I think you're right. And I've spoken with a number of people about and seen the prompts and things that they've made. I can share with you a YouTube video how somebody has sort of said, look, with the key prompts, here you become your marketing manager and here's a set of emails and so forth. You can't ignore it. I would suggest that you get the paid for version. But then there are other things such as Perplexity AI. I don't know whether you've heard of that, but that aggregates a number of those type of search engines. So it would reference Gemini, Claude AI, ChatGPT, this, that, and the other. So it's become a super powerful search engine for going into, and references the sources. So again, with prompts, you talk to, again, is that kind of conversational thing, but interesting.
Thanks for joining this episode of Wisdom Wednesdays on Team Talks. Remember, small changes can define key decisions in your success. Until next time.